Hey everyone, so it's back for part 2 of this BJJ purple belt versus black belt video. Once again, I thoroughly enjoyed this video so far. It was not as serious as I originally thought it was going to be. Also, this camera angle sucks, but we'll go with it. So recap, they were supposed to do 4 challenges. We went over 2. So let's go over the next 2 and see what happens.
And this is what you did. You took a lot of beating now. Now you got him down, so now you should win.
I thought we were doing 1 minute, and you just keep going. Why? Because I'm bad.
Well, I think BJJ kind of takes a while sometimes, especially going up against a skilled fighter.
Actually, I wanted to stop there. So, in this particular match, Josh was supposed to do BJJ, and Jesse, the guy in the white gi, was supposed to strictly stick with karate, I believe. Now, this match, as he said, was only supposed to go on for a minute, but this match definitely was a lot longer than a minute. But in jiu-jitsu, during practice, of course, rolling can be 3 minutes, it could be 6 minutes, it could be longer. It's a rare occurrence, but sometimes at open mat, gosh, I haven't really been to open mat consistently in my gym, but that's not the point. At open mat, sometimes if I have a really good roll with a buddy of mine, we'll go for like 10, 15 minutes sometimes. It's been a while since I've done that, but, that can happen. But with that being said, I can't imagine, and even when I did Isshin Ryu, I don't remember sparring matches being longer than, very long. I don't remember them going very long before, you had to reset for whatever reason. There's a lot of point sparring there, as I remember as well, but whatever. Let's continue.
Like you, I was eventually able to get you down to the ground.
Yeah.
But you did have some good strikes in there.
The thing is...
Yeah, oh man, like this part right here.
Well, I think BJJ kind of takes a while sometimes, especially going up against a skilled fighter like you.
We'll get to that
I was eventually able to get you down to the ground.
We'll get to that part in a
but
moment
you did
again.
have some good strikes in there.
This part, that part.
And that's why eventually you will take me down.
That was a scary part right there. If this was an actual fight, Josh would have been in a very bad situation. Like if he ate some shots, but if there was no gloves involved and if Jesse was intentionally trying to hurt him, that could have been scary, like very scary. I mean, Josh definitely pulled off I think he pulled off a sweep there, but yeah, bad form. It was a very bad position for Josh to be in. Let's continue.
Unless I have extremely good stamina, which I don't, because I'm not a real fighter.
But you were also pulling some of your strikes. Some of those knees probably could have broke my ribs.
Yeah. But then again, I'm also bigger than you. So just the weight of my leg does more damage.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess the result of this one is inconclusive.
Yeah. I will say that Josh, overall, I feel like Josh did a pretty good, I think he's done pretty good overall so far. Jesse's karate is phenomenal as usual, but let's see what the third match is
going to be. Do some more then.
You know what? I would like to try Jiu-jitsu against you.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
So it's going to be
Since Josh is wearing a black uniform,
Jiu-jitsu versus Jiu-jitsu match for the third challenge.
I decided to wear a black one too, because apparently that's what you do in Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. So, here we go.
It looks navy to me, but we'll go with it.
Alright, this time we're actually slap on thing.
Okay, how does that work? 1, 2, that's it?
Yep.
Okay, alright.
Alright.
Ready?
Ready?
Jesse's pretending like he doesn't know anything about jiu-jitsu, but he actually managed to submit his opponent in his recent video where he entered a jiu-jitsu tournament to prove it doesn't work. So I knew I wasn't up against a complete newbie. I was running out of chances to win these rounds, and I didn't want to leave here without executing my favorite submission, but Jesse isn't going to make it easy on me. Even though I've done around 80 of these in competition, Jesse has extremely good balance, awareness of danger, and he's a lot bigger than me. So all of these factors were making it difficult for me to capture both of his legs so that I could set him down on a hip.
Yeah, everybody just... That's a good point. Everybody needs to keep in mind that Jesse's not unfamiliar with jiu-jitsu, and he is bigger than Josh. Although it doesn't really... You can't really see from these videos, but Jesse is not a small dude. Neither is Josh, but Jesse's definitely a bigger guy, and that does play a really big factor when you're doing groundwork. Let's continue.
Time was running out, and I tried my best to capture his secondary pant leg, and finally I managed to get him down on the ground.
That was a good sweep.
I pulled his hand off my lapel, cranked on the ankle, and got the tap.
Yep. That was good.
So, I don't know.
Although Josh technically heel hooked a white belt. I think that was a heel hook anyways. I couldn't really see. Let's go back a little bit.
So, I don't know.
Nope. A little bit further.
Time was running out, and I tried my best to capture his secondary pant leg, and finally I managed to get him down on the ground.
Maybe it looks like it was just a straight ankle lock.
I pulled his hand off my lapel, cranked on the ankle, and got the tap.
Yeah, it was just a straight ankle lock. Boo. I really wanted to make heel hooking white belt jokes, but apparently it's not going to happen. Let's continue.
So, I don't know if you knew this already, Jesse, but the ankle lock is my favorite move in
Is it?
Straight
jiu-jitsu.
ankle lock.
I even have a tattoo of one.
What? It's a lock on your ankle.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
This is why I came all the way to Stockholm, just so I could try to ankle lock Jesse.
You caught me. Look,
Great.
I was trying to be on top of you.
Yeah.
Because I know that would be my advantage as a bigger guy. Then I felt like this is getting boring. We're making some content here. It should be a little bit exciting, right? So I tried to go for something, and you immediately caught me with that ankle lock you had been working on for like a minute. And I didn't even realize it until it was too late.
Yeah. I actually got worried for a second because you started trying to choke me, and then I remembered back to your video.
Yeah, that's like the
how
one
you
thing
won
I
the
know.
match.
So even though Jesse, I don't think he realized he did this. One of the key things a more experienced jiu-jitsu player will do, especially against a bigger opponent, faster opponent, younger opponent who's bigger or faster, is that we will set something up and wait. And we will wait for you to make a mistake so that we can take full advantage of whatever we're setting up. And it's a beautiful thing. I tend to do that a lot. Like I'll get something, whether it's a grip or, just like get halfway into a position and just wait for you to make like a cardinal mistake, and then boom, I spring my trap. Even if I get just a few inches more of a better position, it's worth it. But Jesse here, said he felt it was getting boring. I want to make we should make good content. That was just enough for him to get caught. Classic. Let's continue.
Yeah, but I didn't get it.
That was good. Luckily, we were able to accomplish something in a minute. I thought we were just going to be on the ground rolling around for a minute, but
yeah,
we both tried some stuff. I had fun.
Yeah, just to reiterate, these guys are having fun. Like, I kind of would have more to say if it was like if there was some sort of serious beef, but there's not. Like, this is awesome. Actually, this is way better than I originally assumed. Yeah, let's continue.
Well, thank you for not killing me immediately. At least you gave me a minute playing with your food before you eat it, right?
It was actually very difficult. You're talking about size and weight. I think that's a huge advantage in jiu-jitsu. People underplay that a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was, and with your martial arts background, you have such a good base and balance that it was hard to sweep you. Anytime I tried to move you, you would just stand upright.
And Josh points out a very good point. A size and weight difference definitely can be underplayed in BJJ. The larger someone is, the harder it is for a less experienced person to do something to them. I've got training partners, love these guys to death, 6'3", 6'4", 260 plus. Very hard to move these guys. It's like trying to fight a mountain. One little mistake and they're sitting there squishing me. But yeah, with that being said, I tend to find that smaller guys and the ladies tend to be a lot more technical because of that. There's much more of a risk of them just getting, simply pinned due to a size difference, or you have to be aware that someone's a lot heavier than you, so can't technically use strength, for example, to try to mitigate them. It's just not a good idea. So being fast, using technique is a better way to go. It's not easy, it's not hard, but it's definitely how it plays out in BJJ. But let's continue.
But that's why karate has all these deep, stable stances.
That's right.
Because at least traditional karate is all about stability to generate power, right?
Right.
And some of that transfers also to the ground. Even though I don't know anything about the positions, I can apply the same principles.
Right, which is very clear in what we just saw.
Let me just cut you off right now, because now let's try to switch the roles. You do karate, and I do jiu-jitsu. Let's see how they...
I was not expecting that. And that was definitely not what I was thinking, what I was envisioning for their fourth challenge, or fourth match, whatever. So the jiu-jitsu guy is going to do karate, and the karate guy is going to do jiu-jitsu in this one. This should be fun. Let's see how this goes.
It goes.
All right.
Wait, I do the fist bump?
Although I'm not sure how this is going to work out, because Josh said he's done Muay Thai before. So how is he going to whatever. Let's just see how this goes.
Slap?
Not this time.
Okay, all right.
All right, ready?
Okay.
I started off in a super wide karate stance, but Jesse immediately bulldozed his way in. But I wasn't going to let him take me down that easy. I sprawled, created distance, and held him while I threw some strikes at his head. But he immediately shot back in. He was relentless. I was not expecting to have to block so many shots. I decided to throw some side kicks like I think karate people do, and my spazziness kept him at bay, until he shot in again. I thought I was safe when suddenly he threw me with a Sumi Gaeshi, and right when I got up, he did it again.
I was seeing his videos. I know that's your favorite throw.
And then in a last-ditch attempt to submit me before the round was over, he fell back on an ankle lock.
Good job. It was so scary with those side kicks.
Yeah.
Because I want to take you down, but
Yeah.
I don't want to get kicked in the face.
It's scary for me equally, though, because I feel like with this bladed stance...
It was actually pretty funny. I was kind of hoping that Jesse would get Josh with a straight ankle lock, but didn't work out that way.
I'm just giving you my leg.
Yeah.
Remind me that I need to get some karate training.
Wait. What is that? Wait. But you do BJJ. My bad.
I think for all martial arts, there's an appropriate
He made a common BJJ trope joke. Y'all can figure it out. I think this is the part where they have their little conversation, but let's listen to that and continue from there.
context and usage, which was shown here. Now that we'd fought it out, I wanted to sit down and have a discussion with Jesse about his videos.
So, I'm a huge fan, but I do have to ask you, why have you been giving jiu-jitsu so much shit lately?
Have I, though? I mean, at the surface level, maybe it seems like that. And the reason is because I've discovered that a lot of people who are tribal, who like to belong to a specific subgroup, are very sensitive to certain topics, especially when it comes to criticism about what they do. It's like a religion, like my God is right, your God is wrong, something like that.
I'll agree with him on that, because when I originally reviewed his other video where he said, where the title was like, BJJ doesn't work or something like that, I had never watched one of Jesse Enkamp's videos before, or maybe like one or two. I can't remember. My memory is terrible. But after a few seconds, I didn't get the idea that he was necessarily talking trash about BJJ, more or less just maybe putting in like satirical critique, for example, and maybe poking fun at the people who, as he described, are like super tribal about it. Like if somebody has something to say about this sport, much like most other things I get involved with, I don't really pay them too much mind. Like I don't really take it to heart, but I know some people who will get very upset about like just like minor criticisms. And granted, they don't immediately like react or say anything about it, but eventually, like, hey, you know what? I didn't like how they ragged on our sport. It's like, well, people are there's gonna be people who will always have something negative to say about any topic. So, just the way things are. Let's continue.
Which means that a lot of people click videos whenever I package them like that. But if you look beneath the surface, I think the message is different. What do you think?
I think I actually agree with you. I did see some comments calling your videos rage bait, but then once I watched the video, I do see like a deeper message. You're packaging it up in a way that presents it so that people actually ask that question. But in your videos, I feel like you're being honest and just presenting the topic for what it is. I think you're right. If I, as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, look at a video called Exposing BJJ,
right,
then I have like this gut reaction to it. I'm like, no, this is just like a stupid, this guy.
Yeah, I mean, you get a reaction where you want to go watch it, and it's something that pulls you in. Now, Jesse's message on the surface, as I've discovered, and even walking into this video, it's not what it seems. But there's other people on social media who criticize BJJ that they're just being mean, and definitely from a point of view where if you honestly listen to them, they kind of don't know what they're talking about, but it is what it is. Let's continue.
This guy does karate. He doesn't even grapple. And now he's making this stupid video saying that BJJ doesn't work. But you're missing the point. Right?
Yeah, and because the funny thing is, I could equally, like super easily make a video titled Exposing Karate. Because there's so much karate that doesn't work. If you're just being honest with what you do and don't like identify your whole personality and life around it, I think people get too attached.
That's true. And he's about to say people get too attached to things, and that's also true. At least I think that's what he's about to say. But when I did karate, I didn't particularly feel like after a while the training we were getting there was good enough to adequately be able to defend myself if I ever got into an altercation. The place that I took classes at, I got the majority of my confidence from doing judo. And I do believe it had to do with that live action component. We did randori every class. So, yeah, I see what he's saying. It's reasonable.
To what they do. Because, I mean, you're a human being, not a human doing. Right? You can do many things, and you can switch and do something else if you want to. So you are not what you do. I think that separation is important.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you tie your identity to something that could be temporary, then what do you do when you lose that thing?
Exactly. And a lot of people who start a martial art, they haven't researched every martial art on the planet before deciding and coming to a logical conclusion that this.
So I do want to say something, though. Like tying your identity very tightly to an activity or anything really can be very destructive. When I used to break, there were so many people I knew who, or even when I used to house, there's so many people who started that and went all in, and then a year later, 6 months later, you never see them again. And I've known multiple people in my 20s who latched onto something, got tattoos about whatever that something was, and then a couple months afterwards, total disappearance. But it's just kind of interesting that there's those people out there with permanent reminders of whatever that identity attachment was. Like even Josh, even though it's kind of an inside joke, the lock on his ankle lock, like that's awesome. But let's say somebody did that just like Josh, and they decided a month later that they didn't like jiu-jitsu. Now you have that tattoo, and you don't even like the subject matter anymore. But anyways, let's continue.
This is the perfect and best martial art. Usually they just end up at the school or the gym that was just closest to their home. So it's by luck or chance that they're practicing one thing. What are the odds that it's going to be the best and perfect martial art for you? I don't know.
Right, and it's very natural that you develop a deep bond with the martial art you practice, right? Especially if it's the very first martial art that you encounter.
No, anyways, that's it. You can, just like the part 1, I'll have the link in the description. Yeah, like this was good. This was nice and entertaining, very lighthearted. It was good fun. Definitely not what I was assuming it was going to be. Yeah, for those of you who watched to this point, go ahead and take a look at Josh's videos and Jesse and Cam's videos. It's good. It's good content, and it's always good to look at new stuff. So, yeah. I hope you all had a good New Year. I'm gonna log off for now. Bye.